handle criticism as an actor? And I'm talking about constructive criticism, when somebody is actually trying to help you. And in this industry, we don't call it criticism, we call it feedback. And of course, everyone says they welcome feedback until they get it and it's not all glowing and gushing. Sometimes the feedback is positive, except for this one little thing. Depending on how you process criticism, you might dwell on the negative. Let's talk about how to react and respond to feedback. Hi, I'm Nancy Nave. I've been a working actor for 16 years and I'm a career coach for actors. I teach what you won't learn in acting class.
And if you want more content on being a working actor in the film and television industry, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel.
So there's all types of feedback from different sources. You've got your directors, casting directors, acting coaches, agents, managers, your peers, and your mom. And until you're an A-list actor, if this is a director giving you feedback while you're shooting the scene, just trust that she's right and make the adjustment. So depending on the person's level of knowledge in the industry, you can take some and leave some advice. Acting is an art and it's subjective. Not everyone's going to understand your style or your choices, but that's the art. It's unique and it's individual. Feedback isn't always about believability or good or bad acting. Feedback can be about your character choices, your objective, pacing, reactions, techniques. It's more than just about if the performance is good or bad. We put a lot of work into preparing a character and preparing a scene. It's natural to grow attached to our choices. It's also natural to grow attached to the character that we've created. Therefore, it's natural to feel a little defensive when you hear a different perspective. By the way, most of the feedback we get as actors is for auditions or acting classes. If you book the job, you're looking at just minor adjustments, and those would come to you on set from the director. So let's talk about accepting feedback in a class or from an audition. Here's a few do's and don'ts to responding to feedback. Number 1, do not be defensive. Making films or TV shows is a collaborative effort. Everyone needs to be on the same page, meaning we all need to be making the same movie. If I'm playing my character in a comedic way, but this is Schindler's List, then yeah, I need some major feedback. Now, it probably won't be that obvious. Most feedback is just small tweaks to a performance. But if you're in acting class, feedback just might be drastic. We're in acting class to learn, fall down, and get back up. This is why we try new choices or see how good we've gotten at script analysis or character development. And as actors, we're always learning. Sometimes the smallest suggestion can flip on a light bulb and clarify what you were missing. When the feedback starts, just listen. Take it all in. Let it process. You might need more time to consider the notes before you understand the direction. Number 2, don't qualify your choices or explain your process. Obviously, you did some work to get your performance to where it is. The feedback you're being given doesn't depend on your reasons. No matter what the backstory or childhood memories you've given your character, the choices you made actually might have derailed the character or the entire scene. You've got to let go of what isn't working, no matter how much time you've put into it. If the performance is off, no one cares about your reasons or backstory. It just didn't work. What you're being given is a different perspective on what choices can be made. Our job as actors is to try to see that perspective and incorporate it into our next performance, if we're lucky enough to get another shot. Number 3.
This is what we have to do. We can, as in 10:08.
Don't be attached to making the character a specific way. As we build our characters, we begin to know them. We can make a strong connection to them. We'll fall in love with our characters. So when you get feedback to change a major building block of your character, it can hurt. It can change the very nature of your character. Maybe you've decided that your character grew up in a loving family. That would make your character one way. But the feedback is that actually the character was abandoned. That will change the character's perspective, vibe, attitude. When it's something we build, someone we know, it's become real to us. Making that change can be difficult. You might even find that after you've made the change, you can slip back into being the old character. Be ready to accept the new information and go back to the drawing board and make the changes. And most times, you weren't wrong. You just didn't have all the information. Don't look at feedback as judgment of being right or wrong. Number 4,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Don't say I'm sorry. It's unnecessary. When you say I'm sorry, you're expressing remorse for doing something wrong. Remember, you're not right or wrong, it's just a different choice. Saying sorry means the casting director or the acting coach has been hurt or wronged by your performance. So obviously, they're going to respond to you as, you don't need to say sorry. In acting class, you're learning. You should be trying new concepts, techniques, accents, physicality. It's not always going to work. You have to try new things to know what works and what doesn't. Unless you trip someone or break something, don't say, I'm sorry for your performance. Number 5.
You're fired because you don't use your arms when you tap dance. You're like a gorilla out there. I gotta go.
You must be able to take feedback. Directors expect to direct you. That means they're going to ask you to make some adjustments. The director has the vision for the entire project. You're creating the director's vision. As impossible as it is to see someone's ideas of what they want, our job is to listen to the feedback, internalize the information, and be able to adjust accordingly to the notes that we've been given. If you haven't learned how to get pride out of the way and take the feedback, you're going to have a very short career. Or you'd better learn how to make your own films where you're in charge. Actors who can't accept feedback are often labeled as difficult. In the spirit of collaboration, you must be able to shift your performance from one take to the next. Once you're on set, the adjustments are minor. But if you can't take the feedback from your acting coach in class or from the casting director in an audition, you're not going to last long. There's a lot to learn as a new actor. Be gracious and open to feedback. We don't work alone in this business. You've got to be open to collaboration. And sometimes that means performing a scene in a manner that is different from the way you see it. Learning to make adjustments and taking the feedback in a positive, effective way is just as important to an actor as the art itself. So when getting feedback, be open to trying the adjustments you've been given. You just might find out that it works better or find out that it doesn't, but you've got to be willing to play. There's a million ways to play the same character. Stay flexible. Learn to nod your head and say, let's give it a try. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on being a working actor in the film and television industry. As an actor, you're collaborating with other actors, directors, writers. Be a part of the team to create a beautiful, cohesive work of art. Have a great day and break a leg.